Hi, and welcome back to the Journey for Self-Love Week 5. Well, the weeks are going quick, and I hope you're taking in a lot of the information we've been giving you, and I hope that you're starting to really build and find that love for yourself and forgiving yourself for your mistakes and seeing that you can be positive about yourself. And there are positive things in your life. I really hope that you are achieving your self-love. While we're at it, why don't we scale where we're at today? How are we feeling in terms of self-love? Are you improving? I hope you are. I really wish this for you. This is why I'm doing these courses, because I really want you to have success with self-love. Just remember, if this is the first time of seeing us, please go back to week 1 as we keep building and using the things that we learn each week. On to the homework that we had from last week. It was using the segments to find things we want to improve on for each different segment. How did you go? Did you have a whole range of different things you wanted to improve? Physical things from really personal, for how you behave in public, for the things you do on your own. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. So using the self-love wheel like that can really help you improve. It adds in all the things that we've learned previously, the I statements, the affirmations, the reframing, the positive list of things that we are positive about in our lives, using mirrors to do your affirmations in. This is really important. And how did you go with the first week of your goal that you set? Did you feel the success? Did you use the timeline anchor to help you feel that success, keep you motivated to keep going? You've only got 3 weeks left. 1 week's down already. So it's really important that you anchor yourself in that success, really motivate yourself to find the success in your goal. So how did you go? Put it in the comments. I'd love to hear about how you are achieving. So I just want you to remind you that it is so important to keep going with all the things we're talking about. Weekly we introduce something new. Please just don't focus on that new task. Focus on everything that we've learned, because as a package, this 8-week course is all about giving you a whole toolbox of self-love, things that you can do to help you build that self-love. So let's move on. What are we learning today? Well, first of all, we're going to end our segments on language, and we're going to just talk about self-talk and when we can use it. And we're going to introduce my last part, which is emotive language. Really important, and what it is and how to use it. Then we're going to do our first activity and our second activity. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about anchoring and why it's important to use anchoring, and give out the homework. So really looking forward to today. I hope you are too. Well, we are talking about self-talk. Self-talk is that little voice in our head that talks to us in our mind. It gets us to say things or think things or do things. So some of the times that we talk to ourselves, when we do something well, when we make mistakes, when we hear other people say positive or negative comments, when we make judgments about other people, when we replay conversations of the past or actions of the past, or when we play out conversations about something that might happen in the future. Can you think of any others? When we learned about I statements and affirmations, we use this when we learned about reframing to help reframe our self-talk, our thoughts, our sayings, what we do. We want to reframe those into more positive aspects, because self-talk is both positive and negative. So it's really important to utilize the skills that we've learned to actually help us make our self-talk more positive. And you will be very aware that not everything we say to ourselves or predict or judge is positive. Even when we do have a positive mindset and we do love ourselves, our mind still plays those negative comments. So it's our job to stop them, nip it in the bud, and reframe them. Because if we use self-talk in a positive way, it builds us up, which means it's not harmful to our self-esteem. And just remember, not all self-talk is in our head. We can speak it out, which is great too. But don't believe those people that say it's crazy. It's actually an intelligent thing to do, talking out loud. But just try maybe to keep it to yourself and not do it while other people are around. But talking to yourself is a really, really important intellectual and emotional skill that we use to help us predict, to work out, to plan our life. So that type of self-talk is really, really important. I start the day with 10 minutes of self-talk, planning my day out. What am I going to do? What are the things I need to correct? Things like that. So I'm always spending that time. We all have 10 minutes in the morning where we can do that. We probably already do that, and you might already do it on a subconscious level. You're not really recognizing it. Make it deliberate. So that is important. That self-talk can also help with our planning. So this leads on well to emotional or emotive language, which is an excellent tool for reframing and a great use of self-talk. Words like care, respect, love, proud, if we use these towards ourselves, this will boost our feelings of ourselves, feelings of self-love. Instead of using those negatives, like calling us stupid, if we do that over and over and over again, we will start to believe we're stupid. So in a positive way, if we use these words of I love, I respect, I'm proud of, I care, that will sink into our system. Remember neuroplasticity. It will make this into a positive event, a positive environment. You are changing your neuroplasticity so that you can have a positive viewpoint on particular things. And you can do that even in the most negative types of environments. If you use these self-talk techniques, emotive language, it can change your whole viewpoint. It's not going to change the negativity of that environment, but it's going to change how you use yourself or you view yourself in that environment. So we use these complex I statements to help us boost our self-love. I care about my safety, so I'm not going to get in the car with someone who's been drinking. I respect that I stood up for myself and told that person no. I love the fact that I was able to make changes in my life and I feel so much better for it. I'm proud of myself for keeping going and achieving success when I thought that I might not make it, but I kept going. So these are some of the things that we could say to ourselves to make us feel self-love. So don't wait to hear these comments from other people, because that actually, if we're seeking praise from others, then we're doing that as an ego action. But when you're praising yourself, it's a self-love action. We don't need to tell other people how we feel. This is all about internal self-love. This is not an ego action. So when we receive praise from either ourselves or other people, we should be grateful and use it to boost our self-love, not our ego. A lot of us are people pleasers, especially people who are very in tune with their own emotional feelings, they're emotionally intelligent. We become people pleasers, we want to please, or it could be to do with our neuroplasticity, environmental issues from the past, that we try and please people rather than please ourselves. We should start pleasing ourselves and others, but we should be doing it because we want to do it. I've had an example of people who used to always say, Paul, you're too nice. I used to say to them, well, I want to be nice. That's what I want to be. I am a nice person. I'm never, ever going to be too nice unless the person you're doing it for is detrimental. Are they destructive to your life, or are they going to build you up? That's the difference. You need to be able to use what you have, use the feelings of wanting to be kind and nice, and use those emotive language towards yourself so that it builds you up, not brings you down. So be very aware of the people around you who are praising or commenting on you. What is the reasoning for it? Just make sure you use your discernment to work out whether this is a good time to be nice or not. And that's just one example of how looking for praise from others can actually be good or negative. So in terms of emotive language, I actually used it constantly during my teaching, but I wanted to make sure that what I was doing was having an effect. So what I did with the other adults in my classroom, I spoke to them, and we just focused on one of the emotive language words, which was care. I wanted to start to talk to the children in a way that they knew that I cared. So things like when they were rocking back on their chairs, that I care about your safety, 4 on the floor please, just to get them understanding. And I would use it all the time, and the staff around me were brilliant and they were using it as well. And what we did at the end of the term is sat them down deliberately. You wouldn't do this normally because you're not looking for ego, but this was an ego. We wanted to know if it had an effect. And just bear in mind, these children were either excluded from mainstream schools, they had behavioural issues or medical disorders that made it hard for them to be in mainstream education. So these kids were asked to write down what they think the adults in the room think about them. And we just told them to write a list of words. And every single child in the classroom wrote the word, they care about me. And even now thinking about it, brought a tear to my eyes. These emotive language words work. If you say them often enough and you say them to yourself, that is proof that this will work. Saying positive affirmations to yourself, saying positive I statements, using emotive language will bring you benefits and will make you believe in yourself. So there's another one you could say, I believe in myself. So this is such a fantastic language, self-taught, reframing tool that you can use every day. But don't ever allow it to be an ego thing, and try to keep yourself as honest as possible. And I've seen the benefits from it. So emotive language is not only beneficial to others when you use it towards them, it is so important to you in boosting that self-love. Now it's time for the first activity. And in this activity, what you'll need to do in your books, I want you to draw up 4 columns, and each with a different title. I care about, I love, I respect, and I'm proud of. Under those 4 titles, what I want you to do in this activity is spend time thinking about what you think, do, or say that corresponds with the actual title you're looking about. So, what is it that you care about yourself? What things do you do or think or say that makes you think, I really care about me? Now, this is not as easy as you think, because this is you on a cold start, not having thought this way before. Not saying you haven't told yourself you're proud of yourself or things like that. Try and remember back if you have done that before. But this is you starting to do this afresh. So this is going to take a little bit of time and thinking. I don't want you to rush it. As I said, we pause it. You can take as long as you like. But for each one, find situations that you love yourself because of this. And you could go back to your positives list that says about your self-love. That will have a load in there that will tell you why you love yourself. Where are times when you've really respected you, like you've made a stand or something like that, or you have lasted the distance, those sorts of things with respect. And then probably the easiest, I'm proud of myself. We all know when our success has happened in the past. So what are those times? And don't worry if the same event crosses all four of those. That's okay. You can have all those four emotions. I'm giving them to you. We want you to feel good. So if an event crosses across all four columns, that's okay. So what I need you to do is write down what you do, you think, and you say that makes you feel those emotive affirmations. All right, I'm going to put it on pause. Take as long as you like. Hi, and welcome back. How did you go with that? Did you find it easy, or did you have to take a while to think of situations? I'm hoping at this stage of week 5 of our course that you are starting to really start to feel some of those self-love feelings. So it is getting a little bit easier thinking of the positive things in your life and the things that you are doing right. But go back over this over the week and continue to add more. Like with everything else, we want you to keep adding. Find and elicit more positives about yourself so you can build a great list of all the things that you're doing. You're really journalizing your positive experiences and feelings about yourself. So hopefully this is really, really benefiting. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into activity 2. And it's another anchoring activity, different to the timeline anchoring activity we did last week. This one's a lot shorter, and I also break it up. So I'll have you close your eyes and visualize and feel, and then I'll get you to open your eyes. It's called breaking state. It's to get you to remember that, go back and forth. Because with this anchoring activity, the key idea is when you're in a situation where you need to tell yourself something positive or feel a positive way because the situation might not be so positive, this anchoring activity will do it. So you're supposed to be able to use this straight away. So what I'm going to use today for your anchor is a physical thing. So often things like squeezing your fingers together, doing something like you're not going to put it up here, but it's something you can do in public where people do not know that you're anchoring yourself into good feelings. So do something like that, or I don't want to clench fists because we can clench fists in any of these. It's got to be something that you wouldn't normally do. It may be something like putting your hands together and pressing like that, something that makes you feel good. So many people who get up in front of audiences, including myself, have little anchors that we use. Mine is just a simple squeeze of the fingers and the thumb, and I'll be up there. Or sometimes I do this, and this settles me, helps me calm my anxiety and nerves and things like that. So these anchors work. So what I want to do is I want to relate it to what we just did in activity 1. I want you to pick out an event, one event that is so emotional. You can feel the emotion of it. If you cannot pick one event out of that, then think of something in your past that made you feel so loved, so happy, so enjoyable. Think of that, because what I want you to do during the activity, I'm going to get you to think about it and feel the feelings. This is a feeling based. It's visual because we're going to get you to visualize that experience, but we're really getting you to focus on the feeling of it, what you feel, because that's going to be your anchor. And then we're going to use this. I'm going to tell you, right now I want you to squeeze your anchor. So I'm not going to say squeeze your finger and thumb together because you may not be doing that. So I'm just going to say, I want you to use your anchor now and then squeeze your finger and thumb or clench your hands, whatever you're doing, physically anchor that feeling. And I want you to associate your positive feelings with this anchor that you're creating. And then I'll get you to stop, and then we'll practice do exactly the same thing 2 or 3 times. I want you, while you're doing it, because I cannot see you, so it's important when coaching and doing these anchoring activities, I can kind of see you and see what reaction you can do, so I can push you forward or slow you down or things like that. So it's important for you to be aware of how, if it is having an effect, because if you remember back to when I demonstrated the mirroring activity where I was saying positive things about myself in the mirror, I said to you, I could feel my whole face feeling happy. I wanted to smile while I was saying it. That's the sort of things I want you to think about. Or are you feeling that? What is the feeling becoming a physical thing? Because we really want you to intensify those feelings so that we can really anchor that. And at the end, we'll be able to use this. When you do this, you should generate that feeling. But like everything else, it won't work perfectly after one session today. You are going to have to practice this, and that will lead into your homework. Okay, so what we are going to do now, I'm going to get you to close your eyes. I want you to breathe in deeply. We're going to relax just for the moment. This state that I'm getting you in, I want you to carry this on, getting relaxed and just breathing in. Breathe deeply out. Breathe in. Breathe out. You're feeling relaxed. Now this is your moment where you are calm. But now we're going to emphasize and get you to visualize what you have chosen as your memory that makes you feel so good, brings those positive feelings out. Those emotive language is about I love, I care, I'm proud of, I respect. So what I want you to do now, I want you to imagine in your head, visualize that moment, and I want you to really think about how is it feeling? What's happening to your face? How's your body feeling? Let the pure feelings of joy, proudness, love. What is the emotion you're feeling? We really want you to intensify that. We want to see your body acting in a physical way. I want you to really feel it. And when you really feel that you're at that stage where you can feel the peak of this emotion, I want you to use your anchor, and I want you to clench it now or touch it, whatever your anchor is. I want you to use it now and associate it with that feeling. Associate it. I want it there. Okay, relax. But you can open your eyes now. So how did it feel? Did you get your emotions at a peak? Because we're going to try and go further with this now. We're really going to try and get our anchor really associated with this emotion. So I hope you're doing all right. Your day is going okay. I'm glad that you're doing this course. I'm really happy about that. All right, I want you to close your eyes. So now I want you just to close your eyes again. I just want one big deep breath in and out. And now I want you to visualize that experience again. I want you to feel the emotion. Remember that great positive emotion that you were feeling. Really emphasize it. Double it in emotion, in power. I want you to see and feel your face, the way it moves when you feel that emotion, the body. I want you to feel it everywhere. And then when it's at its peak, I want you to use your anchor again. You're using the fingers, squeeze them hard. Really feel that, really link it into this positive feeling. It is so powerful. That positive feeling of love, proudness, respect, care, happiness, emotion, success, whatever that feeling is, link it into what your anchor is doing right now. Feel it. Okay, I want you to open your eyes. I hope these activities that we're doing are being really beneficial and you are practicing them. Remember, as I said at the start of the video, it's about your toolbox. You've got a whole range of things you should keep practicing. It's really, really important. And I hope that these things that you will be able to adapt to use in your real daily life. So keep going with the activities. Sometimes when we first do them, they don't work well or as well as what we want it to work because we need to practice them. We really need to make sure that we are linking this to a great effect. I hope you're thinking about positivity. We're going to close our eyes one more time. One big deep breath in and out. All right, I want you to go back in one last time to this positive event, this feelings of positivity, of self-love, of respect, of proudness, happiness, excitement, exhilaration. Let your whole body feel it. Let the face, the smile, your eyes brighten up. You can really feel this emotion. You can really feel this emotion. And when you feel it at its peak, grab your anchor and squeeze or touch. Do what your anchor is and really associate it this time with the exhilaration, the happiness, the excitement, the love, the proudness of your event. Really feel it. Really feel that this is going to work for you. You are feeling loved, respected, cared for, proud. You feel these things about yourself. Feel happy, exhilarated, successful. Use that anchor. Feel that feeling. Hold it there. Hold that feeling. And release. And come back to me. Your eyes open now. Okay, an important part of this anchoring activity is the breakup states I've been doing. I've been trying to generalize conversation rather than specifically on what we've just done. So in terms of this activity, this is something you can use daily and no one will know that you're doing this for yourself, to make sure that you feel these things. So we've got to test whether your anchor is going to work. So what I want you to do is imagine a time when you needed to feel like this, but you didn't because it was an event. Maybe there's something you did, maybe it was your mistake. It'd be good if it was based on what you did rather than what other people did to you, because this is about self-love. So, but if you can't think of something that you've done that made you feel really awful about yourself or ashamed or things like that, I want you to you can close your eyes if you like, or you can just think it naturally, because generally when we're out in public, we're not sitting there closing our eyes. So it's just the feelings based on it. So it might be easier now just to close your eyes and go back in that past event, time, past feeling, and just imagine what it felt like then. Imagine the pain, the shameness, the hurt, the anger, the whatever it is that you are imagining. And now I want you to test your anchor. Use your anchor now. Try and change the feelings into those moments of love, proudness, respect, happiness, exhilaration. Keep it going, keep holding it. Change that thought pattern. You can open your eyes if you like, if you've got them closed. Open them and feel the anchor, feel the feelings. The anchor should be working, even if it's minimal. You should feel a difference. Keep it going. If it hasn't worked this time, we need to practice it more, because it's really hard for me to judge. As I said, we're doing this generally. I can't see you. So did it work? Did the anchor work for you? Put it down in the comments. I'd love to know whether it did. I am just going to pause the video just so that you can practice that again. Try practicing your anchor in a negative situation again, or practice building your anchor up. So I'm pausing the video now. Hi, welcome back. I hope you were able to practice that more and you've got a beneficial effect from our anchoring activity. As I said, some anchoring activities don't work for some people, others anchoring activities do. You might work for all of them. It's up to the individual, and again, it's a generic general video, so it's really hard. But if you're wanting coaching with me to do some of these anchoring activities to help you through on a personal level, then yes, my contact details are in the description. So anchoring, what really is it? Well, it's really there to provide a stimulus to change behaviors. And you probably wouldn't recognize it, but you use anchors all the time. What do you do when you see a red light when you're driving, if there's drivers out there? You put your foot on the brake. That's an anchor. It's a physical anchor. Others could be like you might smell a perfume and it might bring back a memory of someone who used to wear a perfume like that. That perfume scent is an anchor. Have you ever listened to a piece of music that reminded you of an event, or it could be a happy one or a negative one? It might link you back to a person or a previous relationship. That music is an anchor for you. Is there someone in your life, when they hug you, you just melt and feel relaxed? Could be your parent, could be your partner, could be your child. Is there someone like that? Well, that's your anchor. That's another anchor. So as you can see, anchors can use all the senses, the auditory, the visual, scent, gustatory, even taste. You might have a food that reminds you of some cooking, of your grandma's cooking or something like that, and that's an anchor. So anchoring is important, and we do it every day. We use these anchors to survive in the world. So let's actually start using to make us feel even better in the world. Use them to benefit our self-love. So that's why we do anchoring. It's a really good neuro-linguistic programming activity that you can use to help you boost your self-love. So let's talk about homework. Yes, with Paul, it's always going to be homework. Well, you did some hard work in activity one, writing down some events. What I want you to do for homework this week is pick 5 of them out and write an I statement so that you can use either in your reframing or building an affirmation in front of the mirror, or just to help you in memory of thinking how positive this event was or experience was. Write it using those emotive language I statements. I want you to repeat the sentence 3 times. No, I'm not punishing you. I just want you to write it down, so it kind of is an anchor in itself. You writing it 3 times anchors that thought in your head, and it also helps with your memory. So when you are wanting to use these as a reframe, you can, because it's in your memory. So I only want you to pick 5. If you want to do more, that's up to you. But we're just trying to build you up quietly at a pace that can suit you. That's your homework. Also practicing that anchor. Practice. If you need to have more effect with the anchor, then go back and think of your positive emotions and use your anchor to build that part up. Okay, so what did we learn today? Well, we talked about self-talk and when we can use it. And we also looked at emotive language and how important it is to boosting our self-esteem, and how all this self-talk language is based on the activities of I statements, affirmations, reframing. We also did an activity where we wrote down some experiences we had for different I emotive statements. And we're going to use that in homework to help build some I statements up. And we did a anchoring activity to anchor positive emotional thoughts with a physical anchor. So hopefully that is a great day's practice for you, and I really enjoyed these anchoring activities and helping continue on your journey to self-love. So next week we're going to continue on. We're going to look at a couple of other areas on our self-love wheel and work on those next week. So sending you positive and healing thoughts, love and light to you all.